A tough shot coming up.
If it's sitting down, then obviously you're
not close, but from that line, not. At the third tee now, Frank, and what do we...
Middle of the green, you can putt to the corners. Well, if you can call them corners, more like ragtails. But
a chance for birdie coming up. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round. Has a chance, and he has it. Beautiful putt. Frank standing here on the fourth tee at Chambers Bay.
First hole, Rich, really that bends to the right, but if anything, you want to keep the tee shot down the left side. It's going to give you a better angle to the green. And unlike the two previous holes, this fairway slopes to the other direction, to the right.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
Frank, you think about the great rivalries in sports. The Yankees and the Red Sox, Ollie and Frazier, and in golf, Nicklaus and Palmer. Great athletes, great teams, pushing one another to great heights.
It's amazing how that's gone forward too, because Nicklaus and Palmer really became Nicklaus and Watson. Then there was like Norman Faldo, but some would say that Faldo Ballesteros, 6 majors to 5, was even more important. But in this era that we're in now, I think we're all praying for that Woods-McIlroy rivalry. Woods with 14 majors, McIlroy already with 4. That really is one to celebrate over.
Frank, 2 is nice, but
3 is even better.
You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Nice par to remain at 2 under. Frank, it's kind of fun to swing away on an elevated tee like this, the 5th here at Chambers Bay.
It looks straight away. It certainly does. And under 500 yards, so it gives you a chance, plus that elevation. You should be able to knock one down there. The whole pinches in, though, with those bunkers left and right, and there's just one bunker in the front of this green. And that, as you can get, should be avoided.
Be careful. They call this hole free fall. And the tee shot ends up in the bunker. We are about 170 yards from the hole. This is a good-looking shot.
That was not an easy bunker shot. He made it look so easy.
Really good composure. That bunker was not going to mess up his plans here. These putts keep the round together. Well done. Another birdie, and now 3 under par. Frank, now at the 6th, this appears to be a testing par 4 long one.
It is, but once again, a generous fairway. Just use those mounds down the left as an indicator on your line. Hole bends a little bit to the right. Good tee shot, though, and everything is in front of you.
Frank, this is a way to make golf easy when you can hit it that deep.
Oh, I'm going to say, I know that first number's a 3. I'm guessing the second one's a 2. Let's call it 320.
Setting up for another approach, our featured golfer has continued that excellent play from earlier in the round.
Indeed, there's no better feeling in the world than when you know you're firing on all cylinders. Hitting fairways, second shot's just going straight at the flag. Right now, everything is working.
Locked in on the read and the speed. Wow, what a putt. That is huge. Frank, this is a daunting challenge. The 7th hole, long par 4. It's over 500 yards.
A huge bunker down the right side that probably runs for a good 200-300 yards. Obviously, that's to be avoided. And then, of course, there's the mounds and the hummocks and the dunes and that on the left side. That's the reason, really, why this hole's called Humpback. But then, a little bit like the golf course, there's only one greenside bunker to be worried about, but enough green left of that.
Anything you do differently with your setup?
Just dig my feet into the sand a little bit more, but make sure you focus on the exact spot on the ball you want to hit.
And it generates some momentum here at the 7th hole. This for birdie. Well, this would be nice, Frank. I mean, you talk about jump-starting a round. If he were to make another birdie, we'd really have it going in the right direction.
You can sort of feel it too. People around there know. I've seen the birdies to this point.
Good try. Just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Just a couple of feet. No problem at all. Good putt, and stays at 4 under par. Now to the 8th and a long par 5, Frank.
Fortunately, there's no bunkers, just the dunes either side. The hole looks a little narrow off the tee, but get down there, you're going to realize that's a fairly frontage.
Right out of the center of the bat.
Did you hear that?
Frank, that was a good drive. This has been a great performance so far, but Frank, a long ways to go. Do you ever worry about complacency?
Yeah, sometimes it just looks like it's too easy. At the moment, the putts are going in, the iron shots are going close enough, but some things, they don't happen by accident. He's got to still keep concentrating right now.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
That's well played. Now a good look at birdie. This one just requires a little bit of focus. That was just a lousy putt right there. No other way to say it. This for par. He'll take par and move on. Frank, the 9th hole, called Olympus. I mean, that is very grand sounding. Like something that...
You're talking great God here, aren't you? Come on, this golf course is for the mere mortals, Rich.
And once again, off the tee and in the bunker. So getting set for a greenside bunker shot. Frank, when I think of the great bunker players in the history of the sport, I think about Gary Player, Seve Ballesteros, whom you knew so well. What did they do that made them so effective on these greenside bunker shots?
They had an attitude for a start that was different. For them, it was, they saw possibilities. And they would imagine the amount of sand. Remember, because this is the only shot in golf where you don't have to hit the ball first. So they would really choose the amount of sand behind the ball, whether that was an inch or two. Aimed the club at that and made sure they followed through.
Frank, I think that's going in the bunker.
Looks like it.
Well, at least he can draw on the experience from the previous hole. Again, in the bunker. All right, Frank, second shot.
Yeah, it looks like a good lie. Just take maybe half a club more than the distance allows. Still got to check the wind. Don't have to fly the ball all the way to the flag from here.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Oh, what a putt from long distance, bottom of the barrel. Getting set to tee off at the 11th hole, long par 4, 537 yards. Frank, how do you play this hole, with a bazooka?
Yeah, try and take that dune out of play, that's for sure, in the middle of the fairway. Bunkers down the left are more for scenic rather than they're not really problematic for the player off the tee. Just, as I said, hit it over that dune, and then really there's a ridge in the middle of the screen, so you've got to be on the right level. Rich, there's great drivers of the ball. We've seen Norman, Nicklaus over the years, but that there is just excellent. Lovely full turn, plenty of power, and just piped it.
Made it look easy right there, and he's such a good-looking player. When he's dialed in, swinging the way he is right now, just a pleasure to watch. Third shot, looking for a good one. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Continues to putt beautifully. Measuring 311 yards, the 12th Frank seems to offer an opportunity for a player to do something pretty dramatic here.
Yeah, it's called the Narrows. Really, it should be called the Temptation, because what player stands on a tee knowing he can reach and doesn't take up the gauntlet? Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
So, Frank, trying to make three the conventional way, didn't have a go at this green. What's left now?
Just the yardage. If you've got a good yardage here, then all these undulations in this green really aren't that important. And that's the beauty of laying up. You've taken the risk off the tee and really the risk in and around this green. So a good second shot, distance control, and you're going to be well rewarded.
Count it as 6 birdies for the day. Now at the 13th hole here at Chambers Bay, and Frank, this one bends to the right, par 4.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that you have to cut it or move the ball in that direction. Ideally, really, anything down the left side of the fairway would be well suited for this hole. There is a central bunker that sort of protects the front middle of this green. You can go in left of that or right of that, but this is a beefy par 4. 4 on the card, and you are not losing ground. Well, that's got to be 300 yards, isn't it?
Frank, a bunker in front of the green here. So how does that impact what the player's going to do?
Well, it's not just the bunker, too. It's the ridges left and right that are going to repel a shot. So if you go too far left of that bunker in front of the green or too far right, that ball's going to kick all the way off the green. So really, that bunker's a good line, but you've got to carry it.
19 feet away. Frank, this game will drive you crazy.
Yeah, you can do so many things right, and then just something so simple, completely wrong.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Frank, now to the 14th hole, and this is the 5th consecutive par 4 here at Chambers Bay, and by this point the players will know whether they're on their game or off their game.
At 546 yards, this hole can be shortened considerably if you choose to take a brave line down the left side. You can chew off as much as 70 or 80 yards. But once again here, because the hole bends to the left, you've really got to know which direction that wind is coming from. Rich, there's rough and rough. That ball is needle-nosed down.
Can't even see it from here. Second shot coming out of the rough here.
This looks like it's heading for the bunker.
Guess what? He's reaching for the bucket and the shovel. Back in the sand. All right, so greenside bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really you have to look at the amount of green you got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. Allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know. It might just go in.
Frank, just a shade outside 15 feet.
Well, if you're going to be like that, Rich, it's 16 feet to be exact. It's no snack, though.
Dropping a shot here late in the round, Frank, with that bogey at the 14th. Just a tap in to finish the hole. Now at 5 under for the round. Frank, normally in a golf course, you don't want to spend too much time in the trees, with the trees, around the trees. But part of me wants to go up and hug this tree because he's all alone. It's the only tree on the whole golf course.
Well, I know you're a tree hugger, Rich, I really do. But at 246 yards, when they play this off the back tee at the US Open, believe me, nobody's hugging that tree. They're just trying to make 3.
Second shot. Good look at the green. You like this one, Frank?
Oh, it's a good one. Safely on.
We're just playing a nice round of golf. Has that one for par, and now at 5 under par. Now to the par 4, 423 yards, 16th hole. What's the right play, Frank?
Fairway first once again. You'll see the slope of the fairway from the left to the right side. It means move your aim down that left side. It'll make this fairway appear that much bigger. And of course, then when you hit into this green, you're really going to have to flight that second shot properly. This is like a tabletop green.
That's a bit offline in the rough. Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. This is a pretty long putt here. You'd be happy to get this to within 2 or 3 feet. You really want to take the stress out of that next putt.
We often say, Rich, you should always try and make it. I go
for 2 putts. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Nothing wrong with that par putt. Just 2 holes left to play. Now a par 3, the 17th, 218 yards, and all sorts of trouble, Frank, down that right.
Well, if you weren't beached at the 16th, then there's a chance you can be derailed, which is what this hole's called, at 17. Difficult par 3. You can see the bunker there in front, and once again, wind conditions. This is going to probably require one of the best tee shots, especially in the closing stages of a US Open.
From the rough, he manages to not only make the green, but get within easy striking distance of the hole. These putts keep the round together. Really has it going at 5 under. Now to the 18th hole. Frank, everyone wants to finish in style.
Yeah, the home hole here, once again you head back to just a wonderful view, and you realize that Chambers Bay was designed as a walking golf course, and it was designed to have fun and test every department of your game. 18 will do that. It probably gives you more trouble on both sides of the hole than any other hole on the golf course.
And once again, off the tee and in the bunker. Missed the fairway in the fairway bunker now.
It's not all gloom and doom, though. Lip isn't too high. A good swing here still shouldn't be a problem.
Frank, that was the right thing to do.
Yeah, there was no advantage to try and get any more out of that. Smart shot.
Frank, you want to finish with one good swing here, the approach shot to the 18th hole.
I don't think there's a flat putt on this green, Rich. There's so many different sections. We said the course was like a maze. This 18th green can be like a maze. If you're on the right portion, then obviously that certainly helps. But there's so many different levels to this green. It's at sneaky distance.
Get in. Yes, good putt. Frank, just some great golf here today.
Yeah, that's a round to remember. Not often you play that well and you feel like you were head and shoulders above the rest of the field.
What a thrill to watch. And for Frank Nobilo and our entire team, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now. This is EA Sports PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Today we're here at Chambers Bay in University Place, Washington. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports, set to bring you all the action out on the course. Frank, what can you tell us about this golf course?
First and foremost, Rich is going to be the host of the 2015 US Open, but it's a true links golf course designed by Robert Trent Jones II. Breathtaking views of the Puget Sound, as well as the Olympic Mountains on a clear day.
Frank, you think of links golf, you think of Scotland, the home of golf. Links in the state of Washington?
That's right, and it is a true links too. Wide fairways. You're going to have a little bit of imagination today as well, because when this golf course plays firm and fast, you're going to play the bump and run, and you will need a ton of variety of shots around the greens.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Frank going for 2 in a row now. Man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Did the job right there.